My name is Derek Sanderson, and I'm a realtor with eXp Realty serving the greater Chico, California area. And it's my passion to help educate, equip, and empower people just like you to make the best decisions possible. So, with that in mind, every Monday I take a few minutes and go over what's happening in the single family residential market here in the Chico area. And before we jump in, if you could do me a big favor, I would greatly appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, and commenting on this video, it would help me out tremendously. But without further ado, let's go. Okay, so let's jump in for today, Monday, November 4th. And seeing it's the first Monday of a month, we're going to take a look at what went on in the previous month in October of 2024. But let's start out with what's going on right now in Chico. We have 123 active listings on the market and 97 that are pending. Now, that median list price, the $545,000, is for those 123 active homes, as well as the average days on market is for those active listings as well. Okay, taking a step back, let's look at what's happened in the last week. We actually had some interesting things go on. So we only had 9 new homes hit the market. 10 went under contract. We had 15 price reductions. However, we had 25 homes close. So what that tells me is that probably October 31st-ish, there were a lot of homes that closed on that day, and that falls within the last 7 days. Okay, let's look at October compared to October of last year to get a little bit of context. We had 76 homes sell in October of 2024. That is up almost 3% from October of last year. And the average days on market, 31 days. That is down almost 21% from last year. Now, the median list price and median sales price have seen their highest jump in a 30-day period that I've seen since I've been doing this. So median list price is up 11% from October of last year, and the median sales price is up almost 12% from the same time last year. Okay, here's just a little bit different way to look at these numbers. This is number of sold homes for the price range, and what you can see is that $400,000 to $500,000 range. We sold a lot of homes in October. That is the segment of the market as far as price that is the most competitive, as well as the most activity that's going on. And if we look at homes based on their list price, did they sell under asking, at asking, or over asking? Again, you can see there in the $400,000 to $500,000 range, 18 homes just in that price range alone went over asking. That tells us there's a lot of competition. Now, those 14 that went under asking, a lot of those were trying to push the limits of this specific price range, and the houses just honestly were not worth that much money, and that was reflected. That's the beautiful thing about the housing market, is that the buyer gets to decide what they want to pay. And what this stat tells us is that there were 14 homes in that price range where buyers said your house is listed for too much money. Okay, this is again looking at some of the same numbers. So number of new listings in Chico. So by this time last year, so January through October, there were 793 homes that came on the market. Now this year, 841. Now I will point out that big bump happened March, April, May, and June. From there, we have just fallen off. So our new listings were up just over 6% from last year. Now, here is just another way to look at that, but there you can see we had 72 homes come on the market. Is by far the lowest number in the last 5 years. That is partially why we saw that median sales price getting pushed up so high. So what about number of sales? So we had 61 homes sell this year, in October of this year, which we tied last year. I did not think we were going to make it. I do want to quick point out we've actually flatlined since July. So here you can see July and August, we had the park fire break out the end of July, which caused homes that were supposed to close the end of July, they got pushed into August. So it's about 10 homes. So really what this looks like, and I did a little shifting of those numbers, is again, you can see since June, we have really flatlined in the number of homes that have sold in the Chico area. Okay, and interest rates. So there's been a bunch of economic numbers that have come out. I'm not going to get into the nuts and bolts of that in this video. However, they do have an effect on what's going on with mortgage rates. So as of this morning, 7.05. Yes, we are over 7% for national average. And total disclaimer, everything in regard to interest rates, the numbers, this is pulled from mortgagenewsdaily.com. Now, if we look at the last 6 business days, here you can see quite a bit up and down. And really, that down number for today is because we had some economic numbers come out the end of last week. And so it softened just a little bit. However, I want you to see this. This is compared to last year. Look at that. In October of last year, we were at 7.92%. You can see that right here. However, look at what happens. This change from last year has dropped significantly. So as of this morning, we are only 33 basis points, a third of a percent lower than we were last year. Okay, and just a little more context. There you can see on November 1st, 2021, we were at 3.18%. Fast forward October 1st of this year, 6.2. Now, in the month of October, we saw an upward swing of almost 90 basis points just in interest rates alone. And every Monday, I post a motivational quote, and this is this week's by Stephen Covey. Motivation is a fire from within. If someone else tries to light that fire under you, chances are it will burn very briefly. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who we fully have speaking into our lives when it comes to motivation. Just as Stephen said, if we have somebody kind of light that fire under us, that motivation, we will burn hot and bright, but only for a very short time, because that motivation, that fire is coming from the outside. The best way to ensure that it lasts is to have that fire actually burning and raging on the inside of you. That motivation has to be real for you. It cannot be somebody else's motivation for you. You have to have it for yourself. Now, it's okay to get motivation from other places to kind of help fuel that fire. But again, at the end of the day, if you do not have that motivation, if you do not have that passion, if you do not have that fire inside of yourself, it's not going to matter. That motivation will not last. That's all I got for you for this week's market update. I hope you have a fantastic week. And quick disclaimer, next week there will be no video. I will be in St. Louis, Missouri, helping teaching a business planning clinic. So we're going to skip a week on these updates. Otherwise, if you could do one last quick thing for me, if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, and commenting on this video, I would so appreciate it. Other than that, have a fantastic week. I'll see you again very, very soon.